Hi, and welcome to 3 Things in 3 Minutes. I'm Nersi. Today we are talking about Nyctophobia from Pandasaurus Games. It is a 3 to 5 player game, and its build is taking 30 to 45 minutes, probably closer to the 30-minute mark. And this is a hidden movement game. One player plays a hunter, and the other players play the hunted. And the premise is that the hunter is chasing the hunted through a forest. It is pitch black, and the hunted are blind. And in the game, they actually wear blackout glasses so they can't see the board, and instead feel around the board to figure out where they can go and try to accomplish a particular objective, mainly to try to get to a certain spot on the board. A few things I like about this game. The game actually really carries through its premise of being blinded and being afraid of the dark, hence the name Nyctophobia. In the gameplay mechanics, you are actually feeling around the board in a way that directly translates into feeling around a forest and trying to essentially stumble your way through to figure out which direction you're heading in. You can easily get misdirected and get lost and so forth. So it does really carry forth the theme of the game in the mechanics. And as small as a point as it might seem, the blackout glasses are a good idea. They will prevent players from peeking rather than just closing their eyes. They have these glasses that just prevent them from seeing the game at all, which is actually a pretty important point, because one look at the board and it would essentially spoil the game. And the game does try to come up with ways to keep the game fresh. There are different map setups, and there are a couple different hunters in the base game. There's a different version of the game that is a retail exclusive that is called the Vampire Encounter, which has a third scenario which is pretty different. A few points to consider about the game. One of the things that's interesting about the components is the forest tree components are pretty nice, but the board itself is made out of a very flimsy plastic. And the problem that creates is when the hunted are feeling around on the board slides around quite a bit, and you have to keep pushing it back to get it in the same spot. Also, the game relies pretty heavily on the hunter keeping it balanced. It can be really easy for the hunter to chase down the hunted and win the game. So the game even instructs you as a hunter, try to keep the game fun. And if the hunted are not doing well, make it a little bit easier on them so they can stay in the game longer, which means that it actually is more of an experience that the hunter is running than an actual true competitive game. And finally, the game can suffer from a little bit of sameness. Even though there are a few different setups throughout the game, it'll start to feel like the same game after a while, especially if you've played it a bunch. So, in summary, an intriguing blindness mechanic that carries through pretty well in the gameplay. It does require a lot of coordination from the hunter to make sure the game is fun and can be prone to sameness. Please leave comments, and thank you so much for watching.